Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Women Have Needs Too. Women have needs too. Right now, I need to not be afraid, right? Today, we're here with Jacqueline Cameron, who wrote a book, and we're going to learn about her story. Jacqueline, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this book.
Okay. My book is called Don't Be Afraid. It's all about my family and our homeless journey in 2018. And it talk about how the Lord gave me a dream concerning it before it happened. And
The book itself, or being homeless, or what was the dream about?
well, the dream basically was not really being homeless, but the interpretation really is being homeless. But it was more like what happened in 2020 also. That's what the interpretation really was.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so if you read
But
the book...
you didn't know about it then.
No, no, I did not
What
know
year
about
was this?
Well, we were homeless in 2008. Oh, when I had the dream?
Yeah.
Oh, it was before, it was like 2016 somewhat, around
2016, you had the dream.
Mm-hmm. 2016.
And then you became homeless
In 2018.
in 2018.
For 8 months.
What were the circumstances that led you into becoming homeless?
Well, what happened is that my husband lost his job, and I wasn't working at that time. I was just, a stay-at-home mom and everything. But after he lost his job, I decided, I maybe need to go there, and both of us was looking for something to do. We didn't get anything, so month after month, it was like bills was piling up, and no money was coming from nowhere. So
There's a lot of people living in that situation today.
yes.
So how did you wake up every morning with hope and faith? And there must have been some destitute times where you were on the brink of giving up and throwing in the towel. I mean, how many tears did you cry?
Oh my goodness. Endless tears. And my husband, man takes things different from woman. And he was stressed out, so I had the children to comfort plus him, and he was the biggest baby, because he's the provider, and it's like, he even
tough.
went into a deep depression. It was really, oh my goodness, there's so much things. A lot of stuff I even missed out of the book because it was so deep.
It's
I really
hard
didn't know how to pencil it. But he
Right.
went into a very deep depression, and only prayer brought him through. He was close to suicide. That's how far it went.
Wow. That's hard to watch someone you love get to that deep depression. What how did it turn around for him?
All I can say is that prayer, because I never stopped praying. I don't know, but after all of this over, he was like, "Baby, I really don't know how you had all the strength, but I really don't know how that wasn't me." because
Yeah.
he was constantly praying. And even when I tell you it's not going to work out, you was still saying, have faith. So I know it was God. It had to been God, because he was like, I don't know what we're going to do. He was always coming up with something negative, like, take care of the children if anything happened to me and all this stuff. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
you shall not die, but you shall live
That's
and
right.
declare the works of the Lord. I said, this family is not going to go down like that. I said this, and I kept telling him this is just a process that we have to go through to reach. I just knew it in my bones that this is something that we have to go through, and we'll have to tell the story. And I never knew that it would have reached this far, but that was my word from 2018
Right.
to him. And he ended up developing, oh my goodness, such a long story that you even didn't see in the book. He developed diabetes, and that was another story. I had to carry all of that. My husband was just tore up from the floor up. But God brought us through.
Absolutely. And you're a very strong woman, to not only have the faith, but keep the faith and instill that faith in your family. Because I'm sure you provided that not only for your husband, but you provided it for your children as well. Because
Yes.
they probably felt, the depression, and they felt the sadness, and they felt all the struggles that you and your husband were going through. The children, sometimes they keep those things inside and they don't show it. And sometimes they do show it, and they come out in in a defiant manner. How did your kids handle the whole thing?
Just like you say, it was, but it was kind of close up, but I know them.
Yeah.
Each one of them, I have 3 boys, and each one of them handle it differently.
Right. Oh, because they're all different personalities.
Yes.
It's always amazed me that 3 kids can come out of one womb and they're all 3 different.
Yes.
They all 3 have different personalities, but they
Yes.
have that same core, belief system, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The oldest one he was more mature with it, and he was more like a Mommy, don't worry, everything gonna be okay.
What were the ages when you were going
Well,
through all this?
Okay, he is 17 now, so it's us 2 years. 2018,
Yeah. 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
15.
Give or take a month
yeah.
or two.
And then I had let me see, he was 9, the middle one, and then the last one, 5. Yeah,
Wow.
'cause see,
So
about
all
7
3
now.
different ages and all 3
5 years
different
apart.
levels of their maturity. Did you have to instill that faith in them, or is that something that they just got from you just by watching you? Or did you have to sit down with them every night and say, okay, we're going to get through this? Like, how, what were the struggles like?
Well, they was always, because I always was a, say, spiritual religious person. So they would always hear me, telling them, encouraging them in the Lord and stuff like that. So it wasn't none new when we started our journey in the shelter. I would always tell them, listen, God is going to bring us through. If you talk to them, you'll hear them, Mommy always telling us that, and they believe it. You know, we just, join together and believe that God would bring us through.
So let's talk about your book, because your book talks about don't be afraid, and it's all because of the faith. And I can I interject something right here, because out of the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes that I've taped and the guests that I've had on, there probably have been about 3 that have related to God and spirituality. And I don't go out seeking that or any specific type of guest to come on my show. They just come to me,
Okay.
just kind of like how you did. And I don't even remember how I came across. Do you remember how we came across each
I
other?
really feel like you maybe saw me on Facebook.
I
Maybe
think I did.
A post or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I somehow I I don't, because I am a spiritual person, yes, but I don't go out touting God on a daily basis. Shame on me, right?
Not really. I mean,
But
every.
I know
Mm-hmm.
that He is my Lord and Savior. I do know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that there's someone who needs to hear your message. And that's why God has put you in my life. Because there's somebody you are going to inspire and empower to not give up, to know that they are in despair, but there is another way
Yes.
than the regular road. There's the road less traveled. There is the road of faith, and the road of faith that you followed that helped your family, you and your husband and all three of your kids to survive what you went through. And so I want to thank you for being that strong woman of faith and
Praise the
being
Lord.
here today to share your story.
Thank you.
Because even if we only help one person, we've at least helped that one person.
Yes.
Right? So,
I believe
okay,
that.
now let's talk about the book. I wanted to say that because I don't even know why I wanted to say it, because I just know that somebody needs to hear your message.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to bring you in front of the audience today.
Thank you.
And I just know that what you went through is not an easy thing to go through. And not a lot of people know this, but I have been homeless before. And I think, did I tell you about that?
No, you
When we
didn't.
talked,
No.
okay, so I wasn't homeless sleeping on the street, but I could have been. We had, my husband and myself and my son didn't have a place to live. And we had family that took us in. So I relate with your story because I didn't have to, wonder where was I going to sleep. I had a place to sleep. It was a floor, but I had a place to sleep.
Yes.
And I was surrounded with love
Yes.
and
With your
family. So, were there times when you and your family were afraid?
Yes. So, like you said, you had family. We didn't have anyone.
Yeah.
Because as we came from, we were living in Turks and Caicos, and we came here. We didn't have no friends or family. I mean, living here that we can say, can we sleep on your floor tonight? No,
You didn't have anyone.
no one
Yeah.
to call.
It's tough to go to a totally different new country, and at that time you weren't homeless. You weren't going from one homeless place to another homeless place. You had a job. Your husband set up a job here, right?
Yes.
And he was working, providing for the family, and then crisis hit, and then you find yourself at wit's end. Where did you live? Where did you stay?
Well, voice going off when he lost his job. Well, we reached out to our church family because we were going to a church, and they helped us. At one point, they helped us. They gave us some money to pay for the rent to help pay it. But we had some money that we had saved up a little bit, so we were able to put those two together and pay it. But then came the other month when we didn't find anything, and it was in between those months when we were so afraid. We were like, I don't know, how we gonna get. We felt like we were gonna get put outside, be sleeping on the streets and stuff like that. But God didn't allow that. We went like 4 to 5 months in this apartment going through the same motion, the same routine. Someone will come up and pay. I mean, actually, there was one incident where this lady helped us out. We went to a Catholic church because someone told me to go there. And this change blew my mind. And I think God was teaching me something in this because I'm a Pentecostal charismatic. We don't believe that Catholic people are really serving God like that. Everybody get their own thing going on. But listen here, these people, the same thing that God told us to do in the Word, this is what they did. They reached out. They even didn't know me. Me and my son went there. My baby was he was about 5. I went there with him. And this lady, it was so funny that when I called, the receptionist supposed to answer the phone didn't answer. It was the person that was over the, I don't know, whatever, everything.
Community.
Yeah, they don't really answer. They would let someone answer,
The
give the
director.
message or what.
Okay.
Yeah, I must say
a
that.
type of director. Okay.
And she said, she asked me what's going on, how did I get the number? And I was like, this is the number that they gave me, because I was calling around and around, and this person gave me this number, so I called. But she was like, and this is what she said to me. She said, this number never be given out to anybody. So I really don't know. I say, but I'm going to take you because I really believe this is something that God is doing. Oh my God.
Wow.
I just could feel it came back fresh,
Yeah.
how I felt that day.
Yeah.
When the lady told me that, and she said, come in. And I went in. They took me to her in the back. She set me down, and she provided me with everything I need. She said, is your husband get a job or anything? I'll give you bus pass for him to go and look. This lady give me bus pass, give me a all kind of little whatever stuff that I need, food,
Right.
whatever.
Shampoo.
And then she said, listen, yes, everything that I need. She said, I'm gonna what is the name of your apartment? Say, I'm gonna come there and I'm gonna pay the check myself. So don't worry. Just give me the number and I'll call them and let them know that I'm coming. I'm telling you, no lie. This lady went and wrote a check for our bill, and we did owe more than 1 month rent. Then she paid everything, and guess what? I know it was the hand of God. I know it was the angel. This lady, the number that I call her with, I try call now. All I can, trying to call this lady back to tell her thank you and stuff. I just couldn't get nobody on the phone.
You're kidding me. It
Never
only worked that one time.
Never spoke to her again, never see her again, nothing.
Wow.
But the Lord allowed her to tell me, this number, you can't get to me any kind of how. I don't know how you get here, but it have to be the Lord. So that was one of the miracles right there.
And so let's go back a little bit when you said, the Pentecostal church and, different religions have a way of looking at other religions and thinking, I have a joke. There's a joke in my family. My mom and dad were really good friends, or really good friends with their friends Bucky and Carolyn. And whenever I would call over, they would say, "Oh, we're playing cards with Bucky and Carolyn." I said, "Those Baptists? You're hanging out with those Baptists again?" And I would say that to them, to their face, as a joke. And I'm like, you can't trust the Baptists. I'm kidding all you Baptist people out there. It's a joke. But it's so true how we think that the religion that we follow, that it's the right religion. The religion they follow, they think that's the one and only religion and the only right religion to follow. And I think what happens is you get to the core of each religion and you find out that we all just want the same thing. It's all about love, right?
That's what it is, what I think.
Selfless love and seeing another person and just seeing everybody with love.
Yes.
It's the common denominator with all of us, All of us just want to be loved, I think.
That's what it is.
Right?
We just want to love.
If you have a religion, fine, but it's not just all about the religion. It's all about what you're doing with your faith and your belief. Are you putting it to work? Are you accepting the other person as thy neighbor? Are you treating them as you want to be treated? Not as you are treated, but how you would like to be treated.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Yes.
And so anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you had said something about, how you thought about it, the Catholic religion. And, there are so many outreach programs. We need all the religions. we need them all, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because everybody comes from a different perspective, and you're not born into a religion. You're born into the world. You're born into God's kingdom, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now I'm gonna Preacher Linda's getting off. So we're gonna
So Linda, you are on the right. You are doing the right thing. You are on the right track.
So let's talk about you go from one day being afraid to don't be afraid, and you write this book. You write this book acting as a catalyst to other people in your situation to let them know it's all going to be all right.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the book.
So it's all about, letting you know that you're going to be all right, although you might be afraid in a situation. Because I'm telling you, in this book, I haven't, like I'm saying, Linda, I really didn't know how to really pencil everything because it was so much stuff that I went through. But it was a lesson that God was teaching me with the one with the different religion and all that stuff, and the one with love, like I was telling you, all how we were treated and all this kind. All of this was just a mirror to show me that, listen, Jacqueline, everybody is my people. All of us, in order for us to get in the kingdom, I mean, for when he comes back, we have to love one another. We have to treat one another
Yeah.
with love. And love is being, what am I going to say, selfless. Not thinking about yourself, but thinking about others, And there were many times in the shelter, we were treated like we were nothing. I mean, I got everything back that maybe I was, because I'm not perfect, maybe did to someone else. They looked down at us, at some people, and they were the Christians. People that I knew.
You and I discussed this a little bit, but let me try to refresh my memory, okay? So you had this this idea about how you were treating people, and you thought you were doing something good and something right and something godly for them and with them, but there was something that opened your eyes that you realized that you weren't being the Christian that you thought you were being. Do you remember can you pinpoint what it was that you were doing that you thought was right, but or some way that you mistreated someone?
Well, I think, I don't know if I could pinpoint what I want to say, but it's more like things that you do, and sometimes we don't even realize it, that we do to people, and we're
Looking
supposed
down
to
on somebody in a
it's like,
situation.
yeah, and then you feel like you would never, because some people like me, never, or whatever, I would never do this, or I'll never get to that, and all this stuff. I think I was that never person, I would never be like that, or never do like that, or never get in that situation or something. But this situation taught me that,
I just learned a few days ago about this gentleman that was early 50s, and had always been successful, wife, 2-3 kids, and he committed suicide a few months ago because of the COVID situation, because he was used to being at a certain success level, and then finding himself, not being able to provide.
Yes.
There are a lot of us out there that are in a different situation today than we were a year ago.
Yes.
We're not a lot of us are not where we were a year ago.
Yes.
A lot of us have had to eat some humble pie, and things are different.
Yes.
But we don't need to be afraid.
No,
don't
be afraid.
Things will work out.
Yes. Things will work out if you put your faith in God. I mean, that's the best way to go, because I'm telling you, even then I was close. I thought I would have gone crazy at some point. But God kept holding me and sending people to me to reassure me that it'll be okay. That's why I guess
I
I'm here
love
to
it.
reassure someone else that it will be okay. Because I'm telling you, it's a frightening situation.
Well, I want everybody to buy your book. Where can they find your book?
It's on
Okay.
Amazon.com. You can just pull up "Don't Be Afraid." Don't, not do not, just but don't.
Don't be
Don't Be
afraid.
Afraid by Jacqueline Cameron.
I love it.
Yes.
Women have needs too. Right now, I need to not be afraid. Buy the book, Don't Be Afraid, Jacqueline Cameron
Cameron.
on Amazon.com. Thank you so much for being here and
Yes.
sharing your story.
Thank you
It's
for
a
having me.
story of faith and belief, and I love it.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.